Hey, Lights Out Ace back here for another video. It's been a while. I had a little bit more computer problems, whereas my new hard drive that I just got 2 weeks ago just completely died. So I spent the last weekend researching and buying a new solid-state drive and installing that. But whatever, it's working again. We're back. We're here. So I'm gonna play some more of this Xenan Control deck. I've really been liking this deck a lot. It was originally designed by Zoochz and played in an ETS tournament, and then Wasp also took it to top 8 later on. My current list is pretty standard off of those two lists, the core being 4 Steward of the Past, 4 Sandstorm Titan, just so you have like 8 ridiculous 4-drops, and then you win the game with Gift plus Last Word against slow decks, and just by grinding it out against faster decks. I have so a couple of spicy 1-ups in here. I have one Whispers in the Void, which is super good against Cambrai and like relic weapon based decks, and it's also just kind of hilarious. And then Grasping at Shadows, probably not the best card for this slot. I originally had Vara, but she basically never did anything. At least Grasping at Shadows can bring back like a Mystic Ascendant. And this is just for the memes. This is just to hopefully one day live the dream of grasping back the Tormentor and killing my opponent with it. Because, I mean, who doesn't want to kill your opponent with a 8/8 flying charge overwhelm? But anyways, we're just gonna jump into a few games here, show off how the deck works, and hopefully bring some more recognition to it. Like I think that Xenan Control is very underplayed. It's a fairly strong deck, and the style of it is somewhat unlike other decks. It's just like a super big mid-range deck that can play forever with 4 Mystic Ascendants and then the Last Word. And from the original list, I've swapped out one of the Subverts for Azindel's Gift just to sort of establish the hard lock of Azindel's Gift plus the Last Word. And I've been liking that change thus far. So alright, we're at our first game, Scampy. I'm going to opt to redraw this 1-power hand. And this is not much better. I can't actually cast any of these, so I'm going to need to draw a couple of power here. But if I get to this Ancient Lore, I should be fine. Uh-oh, we're facing an Oni Ronin deck, though. This is boding ill. If I find an undepleted power, I can just Scorpion Wasp something, which should help alleviate a lot of the pressure. And Steward of the Past is super, super good against Rakano because it's basically a guaranteed 2-for-1. Like, even if they Finest Tower or Torch, it'll still kill their guy because of Deadly. But I don't have anything, so I'm going to die. I'm going to Annihilate this just to take less charge damage next turn if they have, like, a Assembly Line or something. Interesting to still see people playing Rakano Jito after Frontier Jito was nerfed to cost 2. But yeah, this is definitely like Neon's Jito list. Oh, they had another one. Wow. Alright, taking a bunch. This deck does not have any mass removal. You could play Stray in Shadow in this faction combination, like in Xenan, but I don't think it's worth it at all. Like, it's basically only good in this matchup. And this matchup is like actually fairly okay if you draw one of your 2- and 3-drop units, and then your 4-drops always stabilize the board. So gonna just lose this game here to getting power screwed, but that generally doesn't happen. This deck is playing what, 6, 8 power searchers, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yeah, so effective 33 power. So you don't often get stuck like that, but it happens. You can always pick yourself up, and fortunately, it's at 0 points Diamond 3, so I don't even lose any ladder points for that. If you're gonna get screwed, it's the best possible time. The worst part of it is I have to wait in queue for another 30 seconds now. Blech. So yeah, the good matchups, like stuff that you want to run into with this, is any slower deck like a big Cambrai or Elysian midrange. And what you really want to avoid is really fast go wide decks like formerly known as Queen Jito, but like Rally Aggro, Praxis Tokens is iffy. I have to redraw this because I don't have a second time for all of these Scribes. Alright, well, I mean, this is kind of the same as the last hand, but a little better because I actually have a 3rd power. Just need to hit one more and then I can play these. Looks like this is likely Armory. Just gonna play the Banner since Armory doesn't play any 2-drops that can be annihilated. Only Rakano Artisan. Alright, I don't need this Vara's Favor right now, so I'm going to save it to deal 1 damage to a relic weapon, perhaps. it can beat a Auric Runehammer. My opponent is hitting my face with Oricaria. So I'm going to play Steward of the Past because it can't get vanquished. It'll force the opponent to 2-for-1 themselves with like Sword plus Torch or something. And then I might just have to Vara's Favor next turn to stay at my 5th power. This deck needs double time for Sandstorm Titan and triple Shadow for Azindel's Gift and quadruple Shadow for Whispers in the Void. So you do need to get up to 4 Shadow eventually, but I have the 4th Shadow with Vara's Favor right now. Yep, there's the 2-for-1. Hopefully my opponent can't play more relics. Okay, I'm just going to slam Sandstorm Titan. Now, if this gets vanquished, my opponent can't also play a relic weapon. Sort of unfortunate I didn't Vara's Favor, because I would like to Azindel's Gift as soon as possible. Alright, perfect. That's a target for Suffocate. Beautiful. I don't want to risk like Ancient Lowering into an undepleted power, so I'm just going to Suffocate here, hit for 5, and then Vara's Favor to get my 5th power. So this deck doesn't really have any better card draw than, because it's already maxed out on Mystic Ascendant, so you're playing Ancient Lore, and like Ancient Lore is surprisingly good. Like, it's not a very efficient card, but I mean, sometimes you just need card advantage at any cost. And buffing your units by +1/+1 is often relevant. Champion of Glory, that's unusual in Armory. I'm just gonna attack and see what my opponent has. If they have like a block plus Torch, that's totally okay. Just another 2-for-1. They don't. So, do I wish to deploy Steward or Ancient Lore? I'm going to lore and look for power. And I found it. Wonderful. So, generally I want to save your 7th power for Mystic Ascendant, but I have Gift, so if I find it, I'm just going to slam it. Make my opponent discard probably 3 or 4 cards. I'm not going to block here, because I don't want to lose to... I don't want to lose my Titan to a Relic Weapon. And as long as the Titan's in play, my opponent basically can't play Relic Weapons, because they'd have to chump block with this Champion of Glory to have them survive. Alright, I'm going to scheme for power here, but first I'm going to attack. Alright, opponent's getting kind of low. Love an undepleted power. Yes, found it. I think that's better than sabotaging here. So I can play this, and then I can either Steward of the Past or play another scheme. I'm going to Steward... Alright, so what's the worst thing that happens? My opponent harsh rules away both of these. I gift them and they play a giant relic weapon, and I have like Mystic Ascendant follow-up. Yeah, I think I play this. Just force them to play reactive cards, and so that I can gift them. If they had harsh rule, they might have just played it last turn to kill my Titan. Likely not, but could be. Alright, and they just concede. They could have chump blocked and survived another turn or two, but didn't want to go through the hassle. So let's hop right into another one. Yeah, Armory is not an excellent matchup. Like, if they get off a couple Artisans and can start hitting your Sandstorm Titans and Mystic Ascendants with Auric Runehammers, it gets kind of tough. But you do have Vara's Favor to pop those so they don't get the 2-for-1. And you have a bunch of Sabotages and Subverts, which are very, very good against Armory. Armory is typically running out of cards in hand by like turn 6 or 7, and you can nab something. Like, I've subverted Icaria against Armory, and like that's just devastating. Like, turns out Icaria is pretty good in this deck. So this doesn't have any time, and like it's super slow. Like, the first play is Scheme on 3, so I'm gonna redraw. With so many power searchers in the deck, like Find the Way, the best one of all, it's like very, very reasonable to redraw in this deck because you'll almost always have enough power. Like, you have like the 33% chance of having 3 and 4, and then you're very likely to have one of your 8 power searchers as well. So that's why you're playing so many power searchers, because you actually do want to get up to 6 power, 7 power on time. So my hand's pretty slow against Stone Scar, so Argent Instigator here is going to be pretty bad for me. Or kind of, well, that actually signifies that my opponent is an even more aggressive deck. So that's really bad for me. So since I already have all the Shadow I need, you get time here with your Find the Ways and Seek Powers, because you have Vara's Favor in your deck, which can only fetch Shadow, and you want to make sure that your favors are fetching power, if at all possible. Only really matters in super long games, but it does kind of matter there. Alright, well, Scorpion Wasp is excellent. If the opponent doesn't have another fire, I get to kill this Champion of Chaos without even taking any damage. Barring, of course, Torch on the Scorpion Wasp. But then I have Steward of the Past. Yeah, Diplomatic Seal does not provide influence, so see how this block works. I think this is getting killed here. But opponent doesn't have third fire, or they would have played it, which means that my Steward of the Past will be able to block and trade with this Champion of Chaos next turn without me taking any damage. Then a Rapid Shot. Alright. That's okay. It cuts them off from playing a 4-drop this turn. Alright, Temple Scribe is a nice pickup. Just blocker next turn that also lets me deploy depleted power. Could also just Grasping at Shadow as the Steward of the Past. Oof, Annihilate. I'm going to take a bunch then. If my opponent has 2 big burn spells, I don't think I'm going to be able to win this game. Vara's Favor. So that means that I can play Ascendant plus power on turn 7 if I would like. I think I'm just going to bring back my Steward of the Past though. Just want to survive. And like a 5 power Steward of the Past isn't horrible. Like 3/5 Deadly is a very strong unit. But I'm kind of at the mercy of my opponent not having Obliterates now. So, alright, they didn't attack with that, which means they don't have a Rapid Shot or a Torch. That's a dead giveaway. And I need to draw a removal spell for this flyer. So, play second time and let's go digging. Alright, and I found it. Wonderful. Do I play it now? Do I wait till their turn? I guess no reason to not wait. It's not like Stone Scar has any sort of protect or anything. Let's give my opponent the least amount of information possible before they attack. Maybe they'll like Rapid Shotted or something. Alright, worth it to block a 2/2. I don't think so. I will just take 2. 13, yep, dead to 2 burn spells. I mean, effectively like 14, but dead to 2 big burn spells. Right, 5/4 Oniron is actually not very frightening. Okay, so I didn't draw the power on time for Misty Ascendant. Wasn't able to find the time to play these favors or find the ways. So I think I'm just going to double Vara's Favor to kill the Rakana Outlaw, and then chump this Oniron with Temple Scribe. And then I'll be able to Ascendant plus power next turn. And since I have so much power in hand, I'm just going to play this. Just to ensure that I can always deploy all of my stuff. Like if I draw an Annihilate next turn off of this Ascendant, I can play it. Also, being at 16 now, my opponent only 6 power. I'm actually not dead to 2 burn spells. Or, well, 15 with this Argenport Instigator, but still okay. My opponent doesn't have an Annihilate, or at least they didn't 2 turns ago, or they would have used it on my Steward of the Past, so I'm optimistic about this stabilizing me. Scheme, that's not great, but I have blockers for both my opponent's units here. If this survives, I think I win the game. Yeah, alright, so just establish enormous blockers, draw a bunch of cards. I'm not going to attack with this because if they draw an Obliterate, I will take a bunch of damage. And I want to stay in like 3 burn spell range. Alright, Vara's Favor is very good there. It takes out my chump blocker, which was holding back 5 damage. But I think I'm just going to swing with these and then play Titan. Hold up Deathstrike. Ooh. 2 Deathstrikes, that's pretty nice. Yeah, I'm just going to attack with both. Then I can just double Deathstrike if I want to. Alright, opponent on a very short clock here. Alright, I'm just going to Titan. If they send a burn spell, this is not going at my face. So like at this point, I'm okay with this, with like them getting to attack with their units if they have a removal spell. Because then they'd just be dead to these two. Like there's no way they can play enough blockers and kill this. So yeah, I mean that's how you win against Stone Scar. You just kind of overwhelm their cards. I think I'll kill this. Oop. Okay, yeah. I mean opponent was dead and they knew it. So yeah, if you're able to like block their things and they don't draw a bunch of burn spells in a row, you can generally start racing back. Like all of your blockers, like your Titans and Ascendants and even Steward to a lesser extent, like, can turn the corner fairly well. Also, Subvert and Sabotage, which this deck has 2 and 3 of respectively, are very good against Stone Scar, because you play them at about the point where you would lose to Obliterate or Flame Blast and hopefully steal it out of their hand, or take it out of their hand just with Sabotage, just discard it. This deck has a better chance against Stone Scar Burn than, say, like, the other dirtily control decks I play, like TJP or... Well, I mean, Felon Control has Black Site Harbinger, which is just a whole different way of stabilizing. But yeah, this deck doesn't dirtle as hard. It can turn the corner fairly fast with the beefy time units. So yeah, 2-1. Only losses at 0 points, so climbing up the ladder. This is a long queue. I guess like people are busy playing and watching in the mid-season major last chance qualifier. It's Saturday afternoon for me right now. This only has 1 power, but it has a Seek and then a Find the Way. And I'm on the play, so the fact that it's sort of slow doesn't matter, so I'm going to keep this. Like, basically all of my power is coming in depleted, but I have like a bunch of roadblocks, and if I ever draw power naturally, then I can play with those on curve. So yeah, 1 power hand, totally keepable, because Find the Way is excellent. Like, basically any hand with Find the Way is a keep. Ooh. That's actually a pretty good sign. That indicates to me that this is probably a Ikaria blue deck, which gives me plenty of time to play these Find the Ways and do my super slow power development, and then play Whispers in the Void, which I'm not sure how the deck ever beats. I'm going to have time here. So I can cast my Sandstorm Titan, but I do want to draw a 4th Shadow for this Whispers in the Void by turn 6. Okay, gonna Find the Way instead of Scribe, just guarantee that I hit my power. If I'm able to cast Whispers of the Void in a reasonable time frame, I don't see how the Relic Weapon deck can beat me. If they have Ikaria, like I have a Wasp for that. Alright, I'm just gonna Scribe here, looking for power, just above all else. Didn't find it, so I'm just gonna Sabotage. I'm gonna be powering down every single turn for the rest of the game, so. Alright, they probably should have played this Wisdom in response, I think, because I'm just going to take it now. So they have Runehammer, Sword of Ikaria, Vanquish. Like, the Vanquish is going to hit this, but neither of the other weapons can kill Steward. So probably just like hit this with Sword of Ikaria right now. Ooh, a Throne Warden. That's pretty nice. Oh, Find the Way is beautiful. Gonna not play Steward, just gonna play Find the Way. Gonna grab 1 of each, but then I'm gonna play the Shadow, so that if I draw a Time Sigil next turn, I can still cast Whispers. Against decks that don't have Steward of the Past, Whispers in the Void is just insane. Yep, and there's the Sword of Ikaria. So, Steward time. Can't block the Throne Warden with it if they attack, because I don't want to lose my Steward to this Sword of Ikaria. If one has Harsh Rule, it's kind of awkward for them, because they have to Harsh Rule away their own Throne Warden. And then Whispers will keep the Relic Weapons in check, because 1, they can't hit my face, and then 2, they'll take 2 damage every time they attack 1 because of the Spitelings and Tomb effect. So yeah, I think Whispers is just going to be lights out, as it were, even if I'm at 15 health. So the worst thing that happens here is they attack with Throne Warden, I go down to 18, they Harsh Rule. Okay, well, that's not even going to happen now. They would hit me down to 15. Then I play Whispers, and then I play Ikaria and hit me down to 8, and like, then I'm sort of in trouble. But that didn't happen, so looking good. If I attack with this, I could lose it to Lightning Strike, potentially, so I'm not going to do that. I'm just going to play Whispers and pass. Whispers is a very strong anti-Combre and anti-control tool, even though it's a pretty suspect 6-power do-nothing against decks that are playing 4 Steward of the Past. Like the Mirror, if you ever run into that, like you likely won't, but like Felon Control or Stone Scar mid-range even. There aren't actually a whole lot of stewards around, so it's pretty safe to play the card. Jeez, Azindel's Gift is also just a savage beating against them, but I don't think it's even going to come to that. Alright, I'm going to attack now. Okay, losing this to a Lightning Strike now, because it'd be a 2-for-1. And I have blockers. So it's going to start getting the relic weapons out. Scheme for power. Yeah, playing Sandstorm Timing leaves me pretty vulnerable to a harsh rule, so I'm just going to look for some power here. I have so much gas, I just want power. Alright, yeah, and there's one. And I'm going to keep that in hand so that I can draw off Mystic Ascendant. Although I'm likely just going to gift them next turn anyways. Drawing like both of my absurd anti-control tools in Whispers of the Void and Azindel's Gift means that this is going to be a pretty easy match. Yeah, Karia, left up Scorpion Wasp. Precisely for that reason, because the opponent rose to the challenge last turn. So that was just 11 power to Warcry 5 and make me discard a Scorpion Wasp. Attacking this with the Sword of Ikaria kills the sword, but I think it's their best option. So I just have to worry about the Warcry 12 or so in their hand. And I'm just gonna hang back with this Steward. No reason to be aggressive when an opponent is about to lose their hand. Ooh, they're not about to lose their hand. Furnace Mage. That's a pretty sexy tech card right there. So now I do kind of have to worry about this mini Warcries. If it hit like a Vulcan Enforcer, I have Annihilate. If it hit a weapon, I have Whispers in the Void. So actually, I guess I'm fine. If they torch this or whatever, that's totally okay. Lightning Storm, sure. I lose my Spiteling, but there's more where that came from. My entire Void is just going to be Spitelings by the time this game ends. I didn't draw power for these Ascendants still. So let's see what's up. Alright, Vanquish, Maul, Runehammer. Well, Maul is pretty good against Spitelings, I suppose. So I guess I'm going to play Titan into this Vanquish. I don't want to take extra damage, so I'm going to take the Maul. So Vanquish, Runehammer, and an Unknown. Or I guess I'd rather get this. Now, if I play this, I can Annihilate. I want to save the Annihilate until I know for sure what card they got with the Ikaria Warcries. If they're playing another Maul and I picked up the Warcries, I could actually die. So I think I'm just gonna take 4 here. They can Runehammer this and it'll negate the Entomb, but I don't think that really will matter. So I took an extra 4 there. I think that's okay. So I kind of have the dream now. I can Grasping at Shadows the Tormentor, but I prefer that he stays in the Void for now. I don't want to get like Valkyrie Enforcer or something. But I'm going to get to live the dream, the meme dream. I'm just going to block with the 1/1. Don't want to get my Sandstorm Titan Runehammered. This still deals 1 damage, so I've got like a fairly fast clock going on. Alright, well with 2 Annihilates, I'm fine using 1 on the Furnace Mage now. And then I'll be able to reanimate the Tormentor. Gonna be pretty sick. Runehammer. So did they draw a torch here? Is that what's happening? Attacking this. I might have to worry about second Ikaria. Like, that's one way I could lose, so I guess I'm okay with them killing this now with a Lightning Storm or Torch. Yeah, Lightning Storm. That's cool. And it's gonna kill this. They also don't take 2 damage from the Spitelings now, which is a pretty cute interaction. Yeah, alright, so they're out of cards, but they do have Warcry 13 or so on top of their deck. It's a lot. Don't really want to just like run out an Ascendant for no value. I'd have 2 of them. Getting hit by this, but whatever. Just speed the clock up. Well, no, I want to leave up Scorpion Wasp. Yeah, I'm just going to pass again. Just in case they have a 18/18 Ikaria or something on top of their deck. Attacking or not attacking has the same effect here, so they might as well attack just so I have 1 fewer unit in play. And the Tormentor is an 8/8, right? Yes, it is. Man, it's happening. It's gonna happen. Alright, just gonna play this. I just want to always leave up Scorpion Wasps. I don't want to die to a massive Icaria out of nowhere. Alright. Now, I think it's time. I get to do this while holding up Scorpion Wasp. Oh man, I've never attacked the Tormentor before. This is exciting. Oh, baby. This is craziness. Vanquish? Alright, let's start making Spitelings again. Sped up the clock by 5 turns. Alright, that's sort of Icaria with all of their war cries. That is alright with me. Basically just going to be gain 9 armor. Alright, just going to throw down one of these. Speed up the clock a little bit. Alright, with this Vara's favor, I can Ascendant power leave up Wasp next turn. So I'm going to do this and not play the power. I think this game probably slower than I had to, but I just wanted to make sure I didn't lose anything. Like, I had such complete inevitability. Yeah, glad I saved this Wasp now. With only a couple of war cries here, there's no way that even Icaria is going to kill me. Yep, gotta get my Spiteling before I play this Ascendant. Can't even attack this. Well, can, but then they'll die to the Spiteling. Just ground him out. Just Whispers in the Void is a great card. Oh, okay. It's barely staying alive. They could have gained a couple extra health by using that to kill the Mystic Ascendant, but I guess this way they get an extra war cry. Not likely to matter either way, though. I just have so much stuff. All this hand disruption is useless, but if my opponent has no hand, I don't know what I'm going to lose to. Yep, well played, Levids. I get to kill one more Spiteling, but that's going to be the end. Going out on their own terms. Could have annihilated my Spiteling for the rub-ins, I suppose. Should have done it in response to their attack. Annihilated my other Spiteling. Missed BM opportunity. Neon would be so disappointed in me. Yeah, this deck feels very good right now. It's like not a whole lot of go-wide stuff. Like practice tokens can be kind of tough, but you do have a bunch of early blockers for it. Alright, gonna redraw this. Only 1 power and a ton of expensive cards. Alright, this is pretty iffy. If I find a time for Temple Scribe, I should be in good shape. I feel like a lot of hands are like that. Like, seem to find one more time for this Temple Scribe. But then if you ever draw Find a Way, everything is awesome and great. It looks like we're playing against the Witching Hour type deck, which can be tough if they land a bunch of Xenan Obelisks and or Vault of the Praxis. Just able to grind us out fairly well. Alright, found the time. That's a start. 2 draw steps towards 4th power now. If I find it, I've got some Stewards to hose this Ephemeral Wisp. Titan's also like fairly good against them. Like they have a lot of chump blockers, but eventually you can just beat through the chump blockers just with sheer numbers of Titans. Was a banner. Alright. Okay, found it, but it's depleted, which is a little unfortunate. But we'll still get to start deploying these. Alright, block. So they have another power in hand. I'm just gonna bring that right back. The key is to kill them before they can play the Witching Hour, because once they play the Witching Hour, they generally play a second Witching Hour immediately, and then double Witching Hour is pretty impossible for this deck with no harsh rules to beat. And they found the first Obelisk, so I am on a tight clock here. I think I'm just going to slam this down and start attacking. I'd love to play that, but can't afford to right now. Gonna attack first. They probably chump this for the free card, quote unquote, and then I'm gonna Steward and silence it. Give them a slightly worse chance of firing their Vault next turn, but I think that they're almost a lock to have some sort of token generating card in hand. Yeah. And now the Fuel, when they're drawing 2 cards a turn, they're basically guaranteed to draw another card that'll let them play 2 units and so on. I'm gonna attack here. I think it's better for me to just play Titan than to Vara's favor. But once I draw a 5th power, I'll definitely pop off one of these tokens with the Vara's favor. This grounds my Scorpion Wasp, but whatever. It's just trading with 1/1s anyways. Well, I guess not. Now there's Scrap Tank. 5/5 Scrap Tank, in fact. But whatever, Titan still gets to attack. If they double block, I'm fine just trading the Titan for Scrap Tank. Subvert. Interesting. Let's just see how they react to this. Just chump blocking? Sure. I'm just going to play the Steward just in case they have a Vara's favor for this. I don't want to take a billion from Scrap Tank. Like, I have the board stabilized, like, it looks fine, but the opponent can just go so over the top with the Witching Hour that the onus is certainly on me to attack, and I'm not making much progress. Another Scrap Tank. I just want to draw some more power so that I can play more cards per turn. So the opponent is just doing more stuff than me. Drawing a bunch more cards, playing a lot more units. Alright, another Scorpion Wasp, so that's nice. Get to kill a Scrap Tank with that. Guess that means I want to attack with this. Let's play Vara's favor plus Scorpion Wasp this turn. Get in a couple points. And if they don't attack with Scrap Tank and just put this into play, it's not like the opponent's playing Master Removal or anything. Geez, a second Vault of the Praxis, that's pretty impossible to beat. I think this game is basically over at this point. But I'll hang in it just to see what happens. Drawing 3 cards a turn is pretty impossible to beat, though. I guess I'll just Annihilate this. Draw a Deathstrike or something that lets me attack with 2 units. Alright, Find the Way is kind of nice. Let's grab some power. I think I'm going to start with a Scheme. Look for something, anything. I mean, none of these cards do anything, right? Like, Annihilate's useless. Scheme is useless. What even matters? Mystic Ascendant? I guess let's take this to be an extra Mystic Ascendant. So I could play Whispers in the Void next turn, but I don't know what good it really does. I guess it starts hitting them for 1 a turn. Yeah, I guess I'll do it. Ooh, I'm about to take 11 here. I'll take a little bit more than 11, I suppose. 13. Alright, guess I have to leave back Scorpion Wasp next turn. Oh boy. Torn of Spiders for 4. That's pretty rough. I guess given enough time, Whispers could beat that, but yeah, just like I was stuck on power. My opponent had a Vault of the Praxis. They're just doing so much more per turn than I am. Like, they're just going so far over the top of me. Like, I could Subvert a Witching Hour and play it, and it wouldn't even matter. So what's the play here? Ascendant, chump block that, and that doesn't do anything. Whispers in the Void, block, and then I have to chump block this and basically die, but I mean, I think it's my best chance. I'm just playing that because playing like Ascendant plus power is just like so slow. It's not going to do anything. Then again, I don't think anything is going to do anything, so At least the Whispers sort of gives me a long-term stabilization plan by giving me infinite blocks for this until I find an answer, and then eventually trading with these 1/1s. I need to like a bunch of Temple Scribes that plan to take form, though. Wow, my opponent didn't draw a bunch of cards that turn. Well, I guess I can play 2 units, so that's what I'm going to do. Nice Ephemeral Wisp. 2 power 0/1. And a Xenan Obelisk. This is just getting absurd. And the Witching Hour. Alright. Alright. Yeah, once they get up to this many relics, like what can you even do? I'm just dead on board. But yeah, so hope that kind of gave you an idea what Xenan Control is capable of. Like, it's super powerful against any non-go wide strategy. Like, this is a go wide strategy, so that's a weakness of the deck. But then you saw it crush like a control deck and a mid-range deck, and it can beat Stone Scar. So yeah, give Xenan Control a try. The Whispers in the Void and the Azindel's Gift are like not required at all. I wouldn't play without at least one last word, just because that's such a great plan in the long grindy mirrors. But even if you don't have it, you can just put in another Ancient Lore or something and be pretty okay. So that was Xenan Control, and until next time, Lights Out Ace, signing off.